Top 7 at 7 with Tracy Hutchins.
Let's make sure you are all caught up in today's top 7 headlines in Atlanta, beginning with an all-clear shelter in place now lifted after a bomb threat was reported at Clark Atlanta University's. Officers responding to the campus this evening, police say they did not find anything and they have cleared the scene. DeKalb County's police chief is stepping down after 5 years on the job. County leaders did not immediately comment on her departure, but they did say she's on administrative leave. Parents in Fulton County eagerly awaiting a decision on a vote happening tonight to decide whether or not to close 2 elementary schools. We will let you know their decision on the Atlanta News First Hour. 3 children killed in an apartment fire yesterday have now been identified. Jakari White, a 4-year-old boy, Zalia White, a 9-month-old girl, and Zyla White, just 1 year old, all died after being pulled from the fire. Atlanta police need your help finding this missing 43-year-old woman diagnosed with schizophrenia. Avita Davis was last seen in downtown Atlanta 10 days ago. A Forsyth County mother has pleaded guilty to charges related to abandoning her newborn in a plastic bag in the woods in 2019. That child, nicknamed Baby India, has since been adopted and is now thriving. Former UGA quarterback Carson Beck had 2 sports cars stolen in South Florida overnight. His girlfriend's SUV also taken. Download the Atlanta News First app right now to make sure you stay up to date as these stories develop tonight.